Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today is the beginning of the next project, and this is my design team project for August of 2022 for LineDotArrow, and the kit that we're going to be using is called Torn Edges. Okay, so we're going to do the same format. We're going to do a super quick flip through of the kit. We're going to talk about real quick what we're going to need to do the project, some of the main things. And then we're going to talk about the project itself real quick, and then we're going to start page 1. Okay, so this is the full-size pages in the kit. Now I haven't trimmed the edges off. Remember that Natalie is in the UK. So, well, actually she's not. She's in the Netherlands, excuse me. And so her pages are European sized. Normally there would be a border around all 4 sides, but I was able to print it without selecting fill page, otherwise you lose some of the pictures, but I was able to print it no borders, which still puts the big borders here, but it puts no border on the 11-inch side. So we've got a full 11-inch. And then these pages are going to measure 7 7/8. So we'll probably do 7 3/4 because that'll just be easier. Actually, no, because we're going to try to tear some of the edges since the kit's called Torn Edges. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not very good at it. So here's some of the pages. I'm going to go fairly quickly. Now I have a set of coffee dye paper, like just generic papers, and so I printed on the back of these randomly. Some of them are graph and some of them are just plain paper. All of these are collage papers. I like the flutterbys on this one. I like all the pages, but I'm just saying. Now, this one could be considered a writing page or a backing page. This is one of my favorites, but I like them all, like I said. Okay, now this is the ephemera. This is the fussy cut part of the ephemera, and she was nice enough to put black borders around it for us that use scan and cuts, so that we wouldn't have a problem with the stripes and the lighter colors and things like that. So here's the fussy cuts. These are smaller versions of these 2 bigger pages. Okay, so these are the smaller versions. And then these are your regular ephemera, which I still haven't printed on the back of, but I'm going to select, and we'll do them one at a time to make sure that the envelopes get different print on the inside, and probably not the coffee dyed, probably something else. Okay, so there's tags, and there's envelopes, and there's a bigger envelope, and I just love the picture on this one. And there's cards and more tags and a couple of large tickets, a couple of smaller tickets, and a couple of medium. A manila folder, or the equivalent of a folder. The smaller versions of everything, along with the smaller pockets for the smaller tags. Smaller versions of the envelopes and the other tags and the stamps. Okay, so on to what we're going to do. We're going to do, I did a similar thing, I believe, for a different design team project that I did, whereas we made 5 pages. We just didn't glue them in the book. We did 5 pages, then I did another 3 off camera that were not like special learn how to do it pages, and then we had a little tiny book. So this one is will be 8 pages, and then I'm going to add a coffee dyed page, and we're going to be, since we've got the black borders, we're going to be using the black soot ink just to kind of make it a little bit different and make the colors stand out. Now, I did use my tearing ruler, which is one of the other things that we're going to need, and we'll go into that in a minute. But I used my tearing ruler to tear the edge of this paper. This is regular printer paper that I coffee dyed, and it's got the different levels of coffee dye on it because I spray mine. And I had lightly inked it with the black. Lightly. Okay, then these are going to be our book pages, so we'll be folding these in half. But before we do that, now this is where we're going to get into a couple of the other things we're going to need, one of which is the tearing ruler, excuse me, and then the other is a stamp. Now I'm going to use this illegible text, which just means it looks like it's writing, but you can't read it or anything. It's not real words. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and tear the tops and the bottoms of the regular pages. These. We're going to try to tear these. I'm not very good at it. I'm going to get out my silicone mat. I have trouble with the paper sliding. So I'm hoping my silicone mat will hold the paper well enough that it won't slide when I'm going to tear it. I also have a larger version of my Tim Holtz media mat that it's not called a media mat, that's the glass one. Anyway, it's like a media holder. It's kind of rubbery. And I have a larger version of this, which I might try as well. This works great. I keep it in the corner to kind of hold my ink pad in one spot while I'm using it. Anyway, when I go to tear these, which I'm going to do off camera, I'm going to, like I said, I just wanted to give you the tip about the silicone mats. These are for cooking, and you can get them in a 3-pack for about $10 on Amazon. And so it's a black one, a gray one, and a clear one. Now you can see I did some inking, and that was kind of a mistake. It's different than the Tim Holtz one, which you can use to hold your inking projects, and then you just run it under water and it washes off clear right back to the gray. So, like I said, we're going to try to do that. Let me move that out of the way. And the stamp, the reason we have this stamp is a couple different reasons. Let me put that coffee dyed paper up there too. Is because what we're going to do is we're going to stamp around the edges of the paper. Now we probably won't see them on either side. Yes, we will, because we're going to have to tear the page down just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp around the edges so it's not just the blank cream colored, and I thought the illegible text would go good with the collage. I have some other Tim Holtz that I may use. One of these is called Ultimate Grunge, and this is what the stamps look like. So I'm not sure that any of these would really go with collage, except for maybe the graph, because we got the graph paper, and she uses a lot of graph paper too in her kits. And then this is my field notes, which I'm pretty sure we won't use any of those unless we use some of the words. We've got lots of fussy cut ephemera that we can use. This is going to be a very small project. We will use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch to tie it up, and we probably will use, actually we're going to have to use 3 pages because we're going to need a cover and an inside cover. Okay, so that'll be the 3rd page that we use of the cream colored paper, and then we will pamphlet stitch it together. Now the assembly of the book is going to be off camera because we're only going to have time to do the 5 pages on camera. So that's that. I hope I did it quick enough. the next thing I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to stamp the edges, and I'm going to tear down the pages a little bit so that they go with the theme of the torn edges kit. There was something else I was going to do off camera. I don't remember what it was, but I'll tell you what it was when I come back. Okay? I'm going to tear the pages now. Okay, now we're going to start page 1, and I'm not sure if we're going to finish it or not. We may have to carry over into video 2. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make a double belly band, but the top part is going to be removable so that you can use it as a bookmark. And I just realized why that's not going to work the way I initially wanted it to. Okay, let's go ahead and do the window part. Oh, sure it will. Sure it will. I'm just missing a piece. I'm missing a piece. Let me find a piece that we can use, like the middle of this. Okay, so what we need to do, sorry about that, I left a piece out and that was why I got confused for a minute. We're going to have one piece that we could take off, and it's going to have 2 triangle shaped windows in it, and you're going to be able to have a background, and then we're going to use a double side piece of paper to cut one the same size, and we're going to make 2 pockets. And that's going to be the removable part that you can use as a bookmark. Then underneath is going to be a regular belly band, and it's going to have the image on it. Looks like I'm losing my voice. Then we're going to have the let's see. Yeah, I have these labeled wrong. Top writing card on the inside, and writing card paper in the bottom. Yeah. Actually, this will work. We can use 2 pieces of this. Yeah, that'll work. Sorry about that. I had a brain freeze for a second that I thought I had done it wrong. So let's go ahead. I used, this is going to be our paper, and as you can see, the black ink really does look good on this. If we'd used a brown, it would have just blended in. Excuse me, let me take a drink here and see if that helps. Sorry for the slurping. No, it didn't help. So we're going to try, oh, I guess it did. We're going to make the bottom belly band first and glue it on. I think that's how I want to do it. This is going to be the top belly band, and the writing card and the let's see, 3.5. All right, let's move the writing card out of the way. I'm sorry, I'm wasting time. I thought I was prepared. I tried to tear it, and as you can see, I did a terrible job. If you can look across the top of this belly band, I may have to print this out again. Then I broke out, I forgot I had this deckle-edged ruler, or cutter. It's brand new. Thank you, everybody who supports the channel, or the YouTube channel, that allowed me to buy this. I'm terrible with the tearing ruler, and it's pretty much because of my disability with my hands. So this came in really handy once I realized and remembered that I had it, because it's so new. I'm not used to using it. I'm not very good with the guillotine, so we'll have to we'll just have to see how that goes too. So so I cut that with this. I cut it with the tearing ruler on the bottom, and then I used the deckle edge the rest of the way around. So, but it's okay on the paper. And so let's go ahead and make this the bottom belly band and get that part done. I've got this written out, I really do, but we'll see. Yeah, I've got us doing the big one first. So let's set the bottom one to the side. And yeah, I do have enough papers. I don't need this one. I thought I had enough papers set aside. We don't need the writing card right now. And we don't need the bottom belly band yet. And we actually, well, we do need the paper. All right, so for our top belly band, we're going to make this 3.5 inches wide. The reason I haven't trimmed the papers off yet is because I have to cut it in half first with the deckle-edge, because it won't, it'll only cut so big on here. But there is a way to do it, and that is by making them, remember they're 11, so 5.5 is going to be half. So if we make them 5.5 inches, then we can cut our belly band out of this and still have the other side that we can use as a page. That wasn't so bad. So this will be a page that we can use. Okay. So this is going to be our large belly band. Let's go ahead and trim this off right at the white. Yeah. Sorry, I know this is loud. Trying to do it as quietly as I can, but there's no way with this to make it quiet. Okay, then we're going to cut it 3.5 inches wide, and what I'd like to do is try to get, well, I was going to get as much of this as possible, but we may end up only making one window at the bottom. And that way we'll have as much of this as we can get. So let's cut this off here. We can save this. Then we will flip it around and go to 3.5 and see where we're at. Oh, that's all right. All right, that's exactly what I wanted. All right, let's see where we're at height-wise. Okay, it looks like we're a little bit longer than the paper because of me tearing the paper. So let's kind of line this up. Well, this is actually the right size, but it's going to be removable. So let's take just a hair off the bottom. That's a hair. And we'll see where we're at. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what size window we want. Let's try to use as big a one as we can get away with. I think that's going to be it because of the width here. That'll be kind of cool. And then maybe we can take this little one, make a window up there. Okay, let's try that. Let's make the big one first, and then we'll reevaluate and see where we're at. Okay. We're using all kinds of equipment today, aren't we? Okay. And I'm not going to talk you through this. I'm just going to do it because we don't have enough time for me to go into how to use this. We're going to have to do it. Let's see, we want the long side to be here. So we want the long side to be there. Okay. When you flip it over, you have to put it on the opposite side, because you're flipping the cut over too. This has little teeth on it, and that cuts out the hole. We'll be able to use this triangle as a pocket. Put it in the small ephemera bin. Oh, perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so now, do we want to tempt fate? First of all, let's mark where we're going to have to glue when we put the two pieces together. Oh, well, we'll know. But let's say this line right here. So that we've got a pocket right here. And I'd like to have a pocket at the top for a card, but I'm not sure we're going to have enough room. Let's not tempt fate. Let's just stay with our success. How about that? Since we're already going to run long. Okay, so then we want to cut the, sorry about that. I have pieces of equipment everywhere. So then we're going to want to cut the back side, or the inside. See, this is what's going to show through when you take the card out. Well, that's a little busy, isn't it? If we just put this behind there. So we want to make them the same width. Oh, so we want to make it 3.5. Duh, not thinking. So we're going to cut it in half first to 5.5. So we have the other half of the page we can use. So this is a page that we can use. The reason I left white on is so it was easier for me to see where to cut with this. Okay, so then we're going to, let's trim the top and the bottom just a smidge so that it's got that torn edge look. Okay, now let's, guess I did cut that one a little close, didn't I? It's got hair. And then we want to cut this 3.5 inches wide. Oh, it's not going to come out right because I felt the paper move. 3.5 inches wide. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, see, look how much the paper moved. So let's check it against this one. I think we adjusted the height a little bit as well. Okay. Oh, I cut it the wrong way on the 11.5, but that's okay because it's just a patterned paper. So we need to cut it off right here. Here's another scrap we can keep. And we're going to have to trim this edge, darn it, just a smidge to get it torn. Okay. Then I've got mark. It's just hard for me to judge. Oh, very good. Where the line, you know, where the edge of the, I know there's a crooked blade right there, but this one's easier for me than a regular straight guillotine. I was also able to get the 9-inch straight one like this too because of you guys. So nice. So very nice of you. Okay, now we're going to have to ink both of these, and we need to ink this one on the front and this one on the back. Oh, see, I cut that wrong. Let me try it again. Let's cut these ends off, the white. See, that's what I did, is I cut it the wrong way. I cut it the wrong way, and so that left the white on. Okay, now let's do 3.5. Uh-oh. Now, let's see how we are again. This should be, yep. Okay. Once again, we have to adjust the height just a little bit. Not very much. I think I can do it without making a mark. It's going to be painless. It's not even going to leave a mark. Believe me, the trimmer's just as loud to me as it is to you. Okay, so we're going to ink this one on the front, and we're going to ink this one on the back, or on this front. And I'm not inking them a whole lot. We're not trying to make it, you know, grungy or anything. We just are trying to bring the colors out. And the ephemera has a black border, pretty good sized one. So we won't need to ink it at all. And in fact, if we were going to ink them brown, we would still have black borders. Well, at least I would. Around the ephemera. Sounds like the lawn care guys are already here. Okay, and then we want to ink this one. Oz is going to bark. Oh, I did ink that one, and I inked that one. Now we want to ink the window. It's too bad there was no way to make that one. Whoops. This black soot. I mean, no way to make this one that torn look. I mean, we could have, I guess. Yeah, lawn care guys are here. I may have to halt until they go by my building. Okay. So before we glue these together, we need to put the acetate on this window, and we need to put the magnets in. Doesn't look like I left myself a whole lot of room at the bottom, huh? That wasn't very forward thinking. I think if we put one here and one here, that would be, we could hold it on that way. Even one here and one here, or here. Okay, let's put the acetate on first. I don't think my smaller piece is going to work. No. So we're going to have to, oh, what about this one? Nope. Okay, I think that's going to get really loud here for just a minute, so we're going to stop for just a second here for me. Side of the building. By the time we get this done, hopefully, they will be around the back side of the building for a little while yet. Okay, so we're going to put the two magnets on. While we were on pause, or I was on pause, I went ahead and put the acetate in the window. You just cut a piece to size, and then you glue it in. I went from side to side. Since this is going to be a pocket, I didn't want whatever we put in the pocket to get caught on the edge of the acetate if I had put it closer to the triangle. Now, another thing that I had thought of while I was on pause was that there's an alternate way to do this. If you don't want a pocket on this book band, or bookmark belly band, then you can put something permanent in here, like a dried flower, glue the back on, and then laminate it, and then trim, you know, square around the lamination. You could do that, and that would work as well. But I don't have any dried flowers, so we're going to do it my way. So what we need to do now is glue these two together. We need to make a glue line, but see, really we don't. We can make a card the size of the whole thing and just have this part show. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to glue these three sides together after we put the magnets in. For goodness sakes. Okay, one of the magnets is going to go here. And one is going to go up here. We'll put it in the center, a little ways down. We'll put this one as close to the center as we can get. I'd rather have it farther down though. So let's put it right there. No, I don't want it that close diagonal because I want to be able to put the tape this way. So once again, things don't get caught sliding in and out. They're actually going to come in and out from this side, but still. So let's move it up just a little bit. Oh, my finger, sorry. Put a small piece of tape on it. It's not a very small piece of tape, so let's put that on the top one. And glue it in, or stick it into place. See if I can make a smaller piece of tape. Okay, now we're going to glue them together on three sides. So the longer side, you know, we should have the shorter side open so that there's more reinforcement putting the pocket in and out. So let's glue it three-sided this way down the long side of the triangle. So the easiest way is to put the glue on the top one. So you want to glue the bottom across where there's no acetate. Unfortunately, we're going to have to glue across acetate right there, which is a little slippery. Up the end here and across. Yes, that's right. And it doesn't really matter if at the top and the bottom, you know, the bottom one shows. We can just ink it a little bit. We tore them, basically, so they're not going to be exact. Probably should have just inked the brown one on the top and the bottom. Okay. So now we have our side loading pocket here. The whole thing is going to be a bookmark. Why do I say that? A book band, because it's a belly band and a bookmark. So let's just call it a book band and get it over with. Okay, so then the next thing we want to do, we're not going to attach this to the page, but we need to attach the bottom one first so we know exactly where we're going to put this one before we put the magnets on the back of the page. Okay, I think that turned out really pretty. Uh-oh, didn't wait for the glue to dry before I started sticking my finger in there. Now, this is going to have to go on a right-handed page. Well, no, actually it won't, because you're going to take this off before you take the card out. We'll assume. Okay. So now we're going to cut the bottom one. And we're going to make it 3 inches wide. I always keep a paper clip on my acetate, even though I've got pieces paper clipped together, but even if it was a single sheet, so that I can find it. I can find it later on. Okay, so we want this to be the belly band. So let's see what happens if we make it 3 inches. Without taking the brown. Oh, I think that's going to be fine. I think we can just do 3 inches without taking anything off this side. So that should be just a little bit narrower than our 3.5. Should be the same height. Yep. So now we're going to have to ink this all the way around, but only on one side. But I've already inked the top, the bottom, and this side. We just cut this. I got a little carried away with that ink, didn't I? I'm going to have to go around the rest of it just a smidge more. Make it match. Sorry about that. I thought I had it done. You have to be careful. That's where that little tear is. Look at all these paper clips I could put away. If you want to see something freaky, look at my paper clips. They're all laying the same way in the box. I know you love me. I know you do. Unless you're a new subscriber, and you may not, or a new visitor. If you are, please subscribe. But I know that you people that are already subscribed love me and all my idiosyncrasies. Okay, my oddness. Alright, now we have a bit of a tear here. So we're going to have to put this over just a little bit. Let's see what that does to this one. That's still okay. Ink that where you can see that brown just a little bit. That way the edge of it, where you can see that little bit of tan from underneath because of the difference in the edges. Okay, so we want to glue this on here. I know I wasted ink, didn't I? This paper's not directional, so if I had accidentally glued it on that way, it would have been all right. And in fact, the flowers appear to go half this way and half that way. No, they don't, actually. Well, they do. So let's go right up to that tear, but avoid the tear. Let's go straight up and down. We do have a little bit of brown sticking out, but right here and right here, which are our main important parts, straight across, are all inside the page. So everything is inside the page. And let's make sure it's straight up and down. It's not. How could that not even have been stuck at all? Okay, that's straight up and down. So that's going to be a belly band. And now let's lay this on here. And we'll paper clip it on so it doesn't move. And let's make sure it's straight. we're going to flip it over. We're going to get 2 more magnets, and hopefully this at the top, the paper clip isn't in the way. It might be. Oh, I accidentally have 3. Take this one down. Oops. Where's the other one at? It's up over here. There it is. I forgot what I was reaching for. Still couldn't find what I was looking for. Bad music reference. Get a bonus point if you know what song that was. Let's put it this way, I'll give you a hint. Even you too could get the song title. I believe that was the right clue. Alright, so this is magnetized onto here, right? So you can take it off. There's the belly band underneath. Oh, this worked out. And this goes here. We're going to be able to have 2 writing cards and then a writing card for in here. Okay? Wow. I wonder if this would work. I think it would. Oh no, we want an image. I'm going to have to hear that big ruler again because we've only got 10 minutes left. So we'll do this card. Now, what's going to show through there is this. I don't like that at all. However, if we use this, the butterfly would show through. Or we could use something that's busier, like what I set aside for the writing cards. So that way we're guaranteed that something will show. So first we're going to cut it in half. This is probably not the right way to pick this up when this blade is up. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. Then that way it'll fit. I should have had my hand there. Anything move? No. Okay. This is another page. I'm going to trim the top off. Well, it doesn't matter. We're going to cut it down. So it probably doesn't even matter. I am getting better, she says right before she makes a big boo-boo, probably. I must say it's easier if you go a little bit slower. Now this side is still straight, but that's okay. So, I think we want, well, this is directional. So, let's see. I think we'll see enough of the rows. So you stick it in diagonal with the part you want to keep on the inside, and you mark up here where you're going to cut as your first trial for the height. Yeah, the definite key is holding it right there on the guide or the guard. Call the guard. Would have been kind of nice to make this a belly band as well. That would have kind of been neat, and it had a triple belly band. Alright, I'm going to trim just a little bit more off the height. Not much. I just want it to slide in and out a little bit easier. It's funny, there's a big L on there. My last name is Lee. Okay, now we want to save this edge and this. So for the width, we're going to put this in. No. Put in what we want to save. Oh, duh. I've already done that part. I'm really wishing now that I had made this a belly band, to tell you the truth. It still seems a little snug, doesn't it? I'm kind of getting used to this noise. What about you guys? Probably not. Part of it is because of the edge. They kind of scrape. So, yeah, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, seeing that rose and that shows. That worked out fine. So now for the width, let's leave it sticking out a little bit. Which would be fine because it's off to the right. So it points into the left side of the page. And so pulling the card out without removing this probably would be difficult. But, I mean, without removing this would probably be difficult. But you may not even know that it comes off. We should have done it the other way around. Had it where the smaller one comes off, so that you can see that that's what's supposed to come off. You could do it either way. You'll know because there's going to be cards in there. And I know I marked this. Oh, there it is. You'll go through the same process to make the perfect to make the cards for in between here. You'll do whatever part you want to save in, and then measure for the height. Once you get the height correct and get your card inside, then just make a mark for your width and cut it straight down. I need to ink this, and then we will be out of time, and maybe next time we'll do at least one writing card together, a big one, and then after that, anytime we need one, I'll do it off camera. So we're not going to have time to do it, so I might as well end my time with you in this video by inking, which is, you know, the exciting part for you guys. I know it is. So all we're going to do, we're going to put this in here. I'm going to let the magnet hold this on to the other belly band. Okay? Like that. Then once we get our book pages folded, oh, this is what they look like. By the time I figured out the right way to do it, which is like this, that's going to be the cover. I may redo these and save these for something else. I really like the script. But what's going to happen is we're going to, let me go ahead and fold the one I know I'm going to use in half. We're going to fold these in half to make a book. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this on here. Wow, and there's going to be no gap on either side to see the text. In fact, this is a little wide. I'm going to have to measure and see why this came out wider than, oh, I know why. Because if this is 5.5, we want this to be 5 1/4. So we can just measure this at 5 1/4. Cut it off on the brown side, and then remember that on our future ones. I forgot about the border. So let's cut. Whoa. Cut that much off. And then we should have a border all the way around. Yeah. And then we're definitely going to have a border on the top and the bottom. Just because of the way the European size paper is. So that's what it's going to look like. I think you may still have to take a smidge off the side. And then once I do, then I'll measure it and see what the exact width is going to be. And then we can use that going forward. Like I said, because this is 5.5 and this is 5.5, we're not going to have a border, so we're going to have to make one of our own. So anyway, you would just glue this onto here, and that would be your page. You know what I mean? And then you would just turn to the next page in your book. All right? Okay. Well, that's our video for this time. I will see you next time, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.